Hey there, I'm Mel, and I'm here to bring a little bit of mindfulness to your everyday, and that includes your career because we are not here to mess around, we are here to live the best life possible. For the last 10 years, I worked as a professional in digital marketing, copywriting, and content strategy. I've worked for companies including Disney, Hilton, Wyndham, and Georgia Pacific, which oversees the very sexy paper products such as Brawny, Quilted Northern, and Sparkle paper towels. I've ghostwritten memos from multiple CEOs, worked on global campaign launches, branding and development, product development, and all the things that go into creating a story for the consumer. So I've seen a lot of what makes an individual successful, and I've had my own successful run. So here's some of the best advice that I can give you for a successful career. Number 1, advocate for yourself. I cannot stress this enough. You're in charge of your career's future. So you are going to always ask for the raise. You are going to volunteer for high-profile projects that can further your career development. And you are going to, this is a big one, you are going to announce your accomplishments. So whether you got a promotion or you worked on a major project or you did something big for the company, you're going to talk about it and celebrate those amongst your peers, amongst your colleagues, so everyone knows it. This is not a humble brag, you guys. This is advocating for your career, and people don't know your accomplishments unless you tell them. So that's what you're gonna do. Number 2, relationships are so important in business. So obviously you want to advocate for yourself, and every once in a while you might come across someone who is going to advocate for you. These people are so rare and they're precious, and you need to hold on to them and maintain those business relationships because they will carry you so far. If you have an amazing manager that speaks up for you and is your mentor, follow up with them, ask them questions. If you leave that company, stay in touch with them. These people will help you, and in my experience, I have had people who have been looking out for me when I had no idea what I was doing, and they helped me move along in my career, and for that I am super grateful. So never let those go. Number 3, negotiate anywhere and everywhere. Always remember that everything is negotiable. For example, if you receive an offer letter for a new job and the salary doesn't quite hit the expectations with what you were wanting, so you can always come back and ask for more. In very, very rare scenarios, I've actually never heard of this, but I never want to say never, but asking for more money is not going to make the job rescind their offer. If anything, it makes you look like you value yourself more and you're willing to present that. Now, there are right and wrong ways to do that. You want to be professional and respectable in how you ask for more, and you want to back that up with why, but always ask for more. And if there's no additional money on the table, you can always negotiate for more holidays or additional benefits. If a company wants you to work for them, there's a good chance that they have some wiggle room with what they're willing to offer and work with to keep you. Next, note your wins. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that you want to celebrate your wins, but you have to remember what those actually are. So a little trick that I use is in every work email that I have, I create a folder called a Yay Me folder. In this folder, anytime I get any kind of praise from a superior or another manager or another department or a colleague even, I file that away in the Yay Me folder, and when it's time to review for things like bonuses or a promotion, I pull up all of those things and I note all of those celebrations, and that gives me context for looking back and seeing who I helped and how I've helped. Next is ask questions and document them wherever possible. So this is really important, especially if you're working on a new project. You want to ask as many questions as you possibly can to have as much information as possible so that you can get started. And if you don't have the possibility of documenting these via email and you're in a meeting, a way you can help consolidate that is to repeat those answers back to whoever gave them to you. So that they hear what you've heard, and if there's any misunderstandings, they can clarify that for you. For example, if they tell you that they need a report on certain demographics in order to create a new marketing campaign. You can say, okay, so what I'm hearing is you want me to create a report on the following demographics, A, B, and C, blah, 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 blah. Is there anything else that you want in addition to that? And that might help get a little more answers and clarity on what you need for the project. Next, learn new skills. We have an abundance of information right on the internet. You would be crazy not to use that to your best advantage. A lot of the things I've learned have been through Google University, literally things like SEO and social media ads, and how to launch a product. I have Googled and watched YouTube and done my own research and taken courses. There's so much information out there. If you want to learn something, do it. And then that's something that you can always talk about with your manager to show that you have interest in your growth and development. Next, do a project on the side that isn't asked of or required of you. So this is important because, of course, you want to get all of your other responsibilities done. But if you have a little bit of extra time, take note of any gaps you have in your department or your company. And on the side, start working on something that might benefit or solve a certain problem. One time I created a project management structure, and I'm not a project manager, but I created a way to make communication and projects a little more fluid and easier to communicate across teams. And that was something that hadn't been used before, not because there wasn't a need for it, but no one took the time to actually do it. It wasn't a priority. There were a million things going on. If you bring a solution to your colleagues or your managers, that will stay in their mind as you taking the initiative and being innovative. Next, if you are brand new to a job or even a department, maybe you got moved around, if you're new in any capacity to your team, take the initiative and schedule 15 minutes with every single person on your team, whether you're in person or remote. This will help not only get some personal face time in front of your team members, it shows that you care about the team that you're working with, and you can learn a few really helpful things. Colleagues might be opening up and giving you advice on how to best handle this person or this project. And it's always better to have a community within your colleagues, because why wouldn't you? Next, if your boss goes out of town for more than a few days and you're left pretty much to your own devices, that's not the time you want to slack off, of course. In fact, that's the time that you want to amp up your productivity. What you'll do is at the end of the week, the day before they come back into the office, make sure to send them an email that reviews everything you've done during the time that they've been gone. Because think about it, when your boss gets back, they're going to have a million emails to get through, and they might not necessarily be able to check in with you right away. So if they see at the top of their inbox your weekly check-in of what you've accomplished and anything outstanding or anything you need support with, they're going to know exactly what you did, and that also shows it takes initiative. And finally, be kind and be respectful to every single person on the job. You never know if one day your intern becomes your manager, or if the person from the other department is suddenly in a leadership role. And you'll obviously want them to have a good impression of you, because what if you want to be on their team? What if you want to work on a project that they are in charge of? There's a very impactful saying that says the same people you meet on the way up are the same people you meet on the way down. And that simply means that you never know who's working next to you might rise up. And if you rise up too, then you want to have good working relationships with them. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any more requests for videos that you'd like to see, please drop them in the comments below. I'm Melody Interstellar on all the socials. Like, follow, subscribe. You know the jazz.